Hello, lovelies. I am Stephanie. I work with the tarot cards. I'm a modern day mystic and a guide. And today I want to talk to you about a bridge deck I just picked up. I consider a bridge deck to be a deck that speaks a language that someone might really bond with so that I can bond with them. The herb crafter's tarot is loved by many people, but I'm not a herb crafter. However, if I'm working with someone who enjoys plants, someone who is a voracious reader or likes the classics, working with someone who is particularly drawn to anime or who does the body ink, then I'm going to be using those topics and using the decks and the imagery of the decks to bond better with a client that maybe wouldn't be naturally bonded to me. And so when I picked up the Unbridled Spirit Tarot, I knew that I was going to go farther from my side of where I stand and bridge farther out to people that I didn't have an understanding of where they were coming from on their side. And so I intended to use the concepts of horses because I'm comfortable with the equine and I come from a deeper understanding of the smell of the barn being a beautiful thing. And so I wanted to use this deck to reach farther over the water divide between myself and a client or a question. And so I picked up this particular deck simply because it's based on horses. It was drawn by a woman who has, I believe she, her, but an artist who has a very close relationship with horses, and the deck creator also very close related to horses. That's Tina Tack Anderson. And when I did my first draw, I was actually not surprised to see an image that made sense to me. I customarily will choose to draw for my child when I first get a deck, and we see how it runs right out of the box before I've had an opportunity to negotiate with the Little White Book and having the image of the usual Raider White Smith image of walking away to find your next cup is this student walking away with the signs in the back, family in the background saying good luck at college. Congratulations that you're off to college. And I don't think there's anything that better represents walking away from what you know and what you have and what is safe and what is secure to find something of value than going off to college. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this deck. But then I also was picking up some cards that kind of changed my belief system, challenged me a little bit. There was one card in particular that discussed healing, meaning to lasso the two back legs of a horse that's running away from you. That I was really not enamored of the artistry. Well, I mean, the artwork is beautiful, but I wasn't enamored of the concept of healing for the Two of Wands. I'm like, what does the Two of Wands have to do with throwing a lasso around the back feet of a horse? Until I read the Little White Book. And the concept of the Little White Book in this situation did change my belief system. It actually got me to the point where I'm like, okay, I see the two differently than I would otherwise, because what the writer wrote for this particular Two of Wands is that as a horse gallops past, a rope is thrown out just in the nick of time to catch him around his back two hooves. Archaro must carefully watch the horse's movement as it approaches, studying its strides to know the exact moment to throw his rope to succeed at healing. The spirit of the Two of Wands emphasizes planning, discovering what lies ahead, and decision making to arrive there. Like all wands, this card indicates an action to be taken. However, it requires careful, well thought out action to create great things. And I find that Pamela Coleman Smith's artistry of the Two of Wands, where a man is looking out at the ocean with his two wands, thinking about where he's going to invest his money, send his ships out, what will bring back, what will bring best money in the Three of Wands when he's waiting for his ships to return. There was no action other than the growing stems on the wand itself, the stave, the staff. And so for this to be that moment, that divine moment in time where you know what the horse's gait is and how the horse is moving, and you know how long it takes the lasso to open up the capturing round section to when to pull back to capture and pull that knot tight. I mean, there's a lot going on there. And I usually talk about how you have to have amazing timing in order to mount a running horse. But in this particular situation, I see the Two of Wands differently about the planning and the action that all go together to capture just the right moment. And there were a couple of other cards that I wanted to bring out for those of you who are horse lovers as well, that maybe didn't change my belief system as much as the Two of Wands. But it does give me a little bit more depth. I think that when I first saw the Queen of Pentacles is the woman who runs the whole horse barn. You have to be really well moneyed to run a horse farm. They are money drains, and so that was like, oh, okay, I get that one. That totally makes sense to me. There was an amazing judgment card. This horse has been to war and been given awards and awarded for duty in battle. And now he is relaxing and reviewing his life. And they are looking at, even a horse has this amazing life in battle. And did he live his life well? There's a little bit of a judgment review in that. The Queen of Pentacles is in a parade. And I'd like to think that you can see that there is a chicken on her arm instead of the stereotypical falcon, but she's on a workhorse, and it does take a lot of money to afford workhorses. The eight and nine, or seven and eight of Pentacles have a farm workhorse, Seven of Pentacles, tilling your fields, and a logging horse to just log and pull over and over and over again to get your money. That difference for me totally made sense. Again, these huge pulling horses. The fast movement of the Eight of Wands in a barrel racer. I'm in love with that. And the nightmare of the Eight of Swords being in the center of the pack while racing. The Four of Pentacles. Do you just spend all your time as a mine pit pony, just digging for more money and not outliving your life? Very good. The Buckle Bunnies on the Knight of Cups. He walks by with some flowers and he looks interesting, but if he's walking around with flowers on a horse, we don't really know if he's quality or not. Kind of all buckle, no hat. The Ten of Cups was hilarious because many of us who have put a lot of time and money into a new barn would probably, our Christmas family photo would be in front of the new barn with the horse in front, and everybody wearing silly sweaters. I love the High Priestess. At this point, both of the authors, and Tina Tack and Dianita have seen, in fact, the book reads very well on this. They have seen the Empress as, I think I pulled the thing out, but she's um, Joan of Arc as following her divine vision. And so Joan of Arc as inspired, and here I've got the book out. Um, Joan of Arc set out for the Hundred Years' War, unwavering, carrying her banner, driven by a message of divine purpose, deep, unshakable sense of intuition. Your personal gut feeling or voice within telling you something is the spirit of the high priestess, self-awareness, intuition, premonitions, other psychic gifts, blessings have the high priestess. Heed them well. I thought that was gorgeous. The Page of Pentacles, and I have problems with pages sometimes in a reading, but this page being the stable hand And being only being comfortable around a horse who's in a cross tie. I mean, we've all been there in our, well, most of us have been there in our youth, where when the horse is in a cross tie in the middle of the barn is the only time we're completely sure we're not going to get walloped by not paying attention or doing something wrong. And that feels so Page to me. The Ten of Swords, of course, the jumper who is face down on the course with the horse. Anyone who's woken up with the horse nudging you knows that the competition's over. And the Four of Swords, this is a racing horse, wet, out of breath, and being cared for. I'm going to leave with this card, in fact, because the writing on the Four of Swords actually is quite moving to me as well. The Four of Swords reads, don't take yourself completely out of the next race by neglecting your care now. So I just wanted to mention my bridge decks in general, but this particular one has brought out some different meanings for me. It would not be the deck it is if I don't take the time to really read through the little white book. So at this point of stage, I have done a reading with it, seen that there is deeper messages that I would ignore if I didn't read the little white book. But then when I went into the little white book, I was like, oh, that too actually means something to me about the timing of that Two of Wands in a way that I didn't get through Ritter White Smith. And then I started looking at the artwork and how I see the artwork. Like, yeah, I see these, I see how much money it takes to be a Queen of Pentacles, to be able to run a barn. I expect that there will be new meanings within this that I will be able to bridge over. I will be using this more often. And I wanted to share my bridge deck. So have an amazing day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
I kind of like that. That was kind of cute.
That could be it. I'm done.